welcome to the channel. My name is Ash and I'm here with another review roundup video. In these videos I cover 4 games that I've been playing recently across a variety of different platforms. Now this one, I've got a few decent games this time, sometimes a bit hit and miss, but actually I've had quite a lot of fun with all the games on offer. So the first one I'm going to jump straight in with is Last Night of Winter. Now, this previously came out on PC in 2022 from developer Digital Xeon, but it's now been published on 2 Xbox and other console platforms by Red Arts Games, and it released in June 2024. Now, this is a fun little game, nice 2D sort of art style that blends a few sort of genres together. So imagine it plays a little bit like a Metroidvania, mixed with Legend of Zelda, and then mixed with like Demon Souls-esque combat where you've got stamina and things. And your combat is all about not running out, it's all about avoiding attacks and then dealing damage when you can. Now, this takes place in this old stronghold where you've basically been fighting and you die, but you come back to life. And it's up to you to go on this quest to basically find the heir and end your curse so you can rest in peace. Now, the game itself isn't overly long. You can get through it in under 5 hours, depending on your sort of skill level. There's a few difficulty options as well if you do like your Souls games and you want a bit more challenge, then you can stick it on hard mode and get completely wrecked. Now, I do enjoy this game. It has loads of reasons to go and explore this like non-linear map. So you'll eventually unlock access to different areas once you've acquired like special abilities or items, very sort of Metroidvania in that aspect. Graphically, it has this really bright, colourful 2D pixelated art style from a perspective similar to the classic Zelda games. And then the combat is very skill based, so you've got to adapt and sort of avoid enemies, not run out of like stamina, and battle your way through them. Now, I'm not the biggest Souls-like fan. Like I never really got into Dark Souls or Demon Souls because of the slog. I want to just enjoy myself. I don't want to have to be worrying about things and trying to avoid attacks all the time. But this one is quite fun, and the boss battles themselves are really enjoyable. So there's plenty of boss battles in here. Nice big enemies with different attack patterns and stuff. They don't hold back. And I really enjoyed it. And it never sort of outstayed its welcome. I thought that was really, really like enjoyable about it. Like, I didn't get sick of the combat at all. Now you can also equip a variety of different weapons as well, and each of these have like different move sets which make the gameplay feel totally different, which I thought was really cool. And all in all, yeah, really fun. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as enjoyable as it was, especially for someone who doesn't really go for like Souls-like style games. But really great atmosphere, great art, and yeah, really nice world and characters and enemies to find. So this is available on Xbox. It's playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S consoles, optimised for Series X and S, and priced at £8.39. So definitely check this one out, guys. Okay, next up is I Am Your President on Xbox. Now, this previously released in 2023, but it's been ported over to Xbox by Ultimate Games, who kind of sent me a copy for this review. Now, this came out on the 8th of the 5th, 2024, and Ultimate Games are known to make sort of simulator games. You get a whole host of them in a variety of shapes and sizes. Some of them are really good, some of them are needing a little bit of TLC, and some of them are just awful. And usually they're ported from PC versions, and I always feel like they don't feel great on console. I don't just mean from Ultimate Games, but like simulator games in general feel much better with a mouse and keyboard. However, I Am Your President, if you haven't guessed it, is basically a president simulator. You are the new president of the United States, and it's up to you to make decisions, good, bad, ugly, deal with advisors, deal with all of your staff, make decisions, deal with the press, post on social media, all that sort of stuff. Start wars if you really want to. Start bombing people. Who knows? You can make your country better, you can make it fall into chaos, everything. And one thing I will say is this one works a lot better on controller than some of the other simulator games I've played. Now, I like the idea of this one. It kind of lampoons what's going on in the world right now with Trump and everything like that. I like that it has you obviously like responding on social media, but all in all, this game is basically a multiple choice game. People will come in, and weirdly, graphically, this game has like little weird cutout people that sort of like waddle into your office every day and like discuss things with you, say, and then you have to make the decisions. Some of them are really good, some of them are terrible. It's up to you to decide how you want to do it. You sign bills, you like spend your research points on improving everything. It's good, but it's also, there's not a lot of game to it. I don't want to say it's like basic, but compared to some simulator games where it's super in depth, I feel like this one is much lighter. And all in all, you're basically saying yes or no multiple times and clicking one thing or another. Not bad, but will start to get a little bit boring after a while. Graphically, like I say, it does the job. It's just a little jarring when like you've got 3D environments and then you've got these little 2D cutouts wandering in. But I've played much worse games, and I've played much worse simulator games. So this is playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S consoles, priced at £16.74. It's also available on PC, where there is a free prologue on PC, so you can like download the demo of it and try it out yourself. Okay, and next up is The Prisoner of the Night. Now, this came out a few years ago on PC, developed by RMAL, and it's been published to consoles by East Asia Soft Limited, who kind of sent me a copy. And I played this on Xbox. It released on the 8th of the 5th, 2024. Now, it's playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S consoles, priced at $12.49. And this is a interesting sort of side-scrolling action platformer. Now, it's based on a book. Now, it's a adaptation of the short story, and apologies if I butcher this, a Prisionera de Noite by Lima Arise. I've probably butchered that, and I apologise. And it features elements of like folk Brazilian culture. It's a 2.5D sort of platforming and light puzzle game where you play as this girl called Nartide, and she ignores her mum's advice. She doesn't sleep with blankets for protection, and basically the cold wind of the night comes and takes her as prisoner. It's folklore, I admit, and it's up to her to find a way home. So you've got to play through these 159 different stages, and most of them feature like precision platforming, and while you've got like a floaty jump, you do have to be very accurate in your jumping. Some like light puzzle elements, pushing, pulling, moving things around and stuff like that to progress. And this is where the game is super interesting in its weird like visual style. Now, I don't want to say it looks good or it looks bad. It's a weird, twisted art style. It's not super detailed, like high poly or anything like that. It's quite low poly. But the weird, nightmarish look of it all is really interesting. It kind of gives me, like, Alice Madness Returns sort of style creepiness vibes. There's tons of different enemies and monsters in the game. There's lots of, like, messaging and stuff like that. Not, like, religious or anything, but like just how it like portrays everything. It's dark, it's twisted, it's very, very unique, but like I say, it will send you mad. You will die a lot on each of these levels trying to progress. Now, one thing you can get though There are 12 different outfits that you can unlock, and these grant special skills that will aid you in progressing. So I thought that was really cool, giving you all these different abilities thanks to these different costumes. So that's really interesting. Now, all in all, it's not a bad game. It's got a very nice soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack was really unique and like fitted with the game perfectly. The side-scrolling, like platform, everything are fine, if not a little bit twitchy, a little bit too precise at times, can get a little frustrating. But all in all, it's a fun little game. I highly recommend it. It's like a weird mix of indie horror, platforming, and just awesome. But the storytelling and everything is really good. The soundtrack's really good, and it's a very unique and interesting sort of environment that you'll play through. So that's available right now, $12.49 on Xbox and Xbox Series X and S. Okay, and finally we have Bulwark, Falconeer Chronicles. Now, I played the demo of this and streamed it prior to release, and I was looking to present a copy on release as well, which is great because it's published by Wired Productions and I'm a Wired creator, so huge thank you to them for that. It took me a while to do this video. I keep starting it and then I kept playing it for a bit and then I'd go play something else, and it's just the nature of this game. So this game is a open world builder, but it's like an open-ended game. There's no sort of missions or targets or goals. You basically create your sort of outpost and just build it and grow it. Like, you can take over the world if you really want to, or you can have a tiny little village like of like fishermen and stuff like that. It's one of those games that doesn't hold your hand and it just throws you out there and into the wild basically. Now, I got this on Xbox, but on Xbox it's Play Anywhere, so it works on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. So I have actually played it a bit more on my PC than I have on my Xbox. And this is developed by a solo developer called Thomas Sala. Now, this is set in the world of the game Falconeer. It's one of the launch games that came out on the Series X and S. It was one of the first few games I bought for my console. You were basically flying around on these giant sort of falcons, and it was like sky battles and stuff like that. And while this one is set in the same world, it is leagues apart in terms of what you're going to expect. Now, I will say this game is absolutely gorgeous. I love the art style on this game. I love the look and the feel and just the atmosphere that it creates. Sticking it into photo mode and stuff like that is amazing. It just looks great. You can get some really beautiful photos. Now, this is a Marmite game, and I mean that in the nicest possible way, that you're either going to really like the openness of this game and how chill it is and the freedom to do what you want, which is kind of how the game's created, or it's not going to be for you because it doesn't tell you what you have to do and you feel lost and you don't want to give it that time to sort of uncover everything and work it all out on your own. And that's totally fine. When I played the demo, I got a bit lost and I was a bit unsure, because on the demo it actually gives you a bit of a tutorial and then suddenly it just stopped and I was like, have I done something wrong? Am I supposed to be doing something else? But this dev is so good. He replies to like feedback, comments, anything, and he basically said, no, I was doing it right. It's just sort of like, it's up to me now to do what I want. Once you get that mindset, this game really, really opens up. It's a absolutely beautiful game. It does lack depth in some aspects. There's no like major combat or economy or anything you have to worry about. Yes, you get trade routes and stuff, but they are improving this game all the time. So it's had updates since I last played it, with like new navigational UI, diplomacy events, new trade ships and stuff like that. But there's even more coming in the future. So there's going to be naval command soon with like war mode, fortresses, naval events. And then they're also looking at even more stuff in the future with expansions to factions and different architecture and stuff like that. Now, all in all, this is one of those unconventional games that you've just got to have a go with. It's a really cool building aspect. I love how you're building slowly but surely, like just pop up and then they grow. Like when you upgrade a building, it just gets bigger, and then you build into another building, and you end up with these like massive, like towers on the rock faces and stuff like that. And then you run out of space because you're on a rock, and you have to expand onto another rock. Basically, it's really cool. And then you end up meeting other people, and you can either help them, hinder them, work together, like trade with them and stuff like that. And it does have a nice like system to it. Now, it does have a very minimalistic interface, and the game is designed for creativity. So some people will not like it. I understand that. I'm sure the dev understands it, but it's not the longest of games. Like each session is supposed to last about 5 hours, give or take, till you go. But you can go much further than that, much less than that. All depends how you want to do it. Now, there is a demo available. Like I've said, I have covered the demo. You can see that stream on the channel right now. But I'd recommend playing it for yourself before buying, because, like I say, it's that type of gameplay where you're either going to be super like enthralled with it straight up, or you're gonna it's just not going to click with you. So just make sure you understand that before you go into it. But from a gameplay perspective and the beautifulness of it, like the graphics are gorgeous, the environments are amazing. I love how open it is. It's really interesting, and I love the fact that the dev is very active. He's using user feedback and like community feedback to make it a more complete experience as it continues to evolve, which is really, really good. And I'm thinking of going back and doing a stream or two once it's had a few more updates and see exactly what it's on. But like I say, you do have some sort of combat, you do have some sort of trading, and you do have like resources and stuff. It's just not mega in-depth combat, and it's not mega in-depth resource management and money and all that sort of stuff. So there is some battling in there you'll enjoy, and the fighting and the defending of your settlements. But all in all, it's a much more relaxed, open-ended sort of opportunity of gameplay. But that's it for this week's video, guys. Let me know in the comments down below which of the 4 you think was the best, or which ones you're interested in playing. I enjoy playing all of them, which is nice. It's always good when a review roundup has 4 fun games to play, I must admit. So check it out. I've enjoyed all of them. Links will be available in the description as well. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.